This is the Weekly Roundup here on EAC News Channel, your look back at the past week in the Kingdom of Wonder. A very good evening, I'm Darshana Gauchen. The King of Cambodia, His Majesty King Norodom Sihamoni, has expressed concern over the political crisis in Myanmar, which he said could destroy the foundations of the ASEAN community that the 10 member states have been building up for decades. In his opening message for the 43rd ASEAN Inter-Parliamentary Assembly, read by the first Vice President of the National Assembly, Chiam Yip, on Monday morning, His Majesty King Norodom Sihamoni stated that ASEAN has maintained regional stability and peace for decades, which has created many good opportunities for the people living in these Southeast Asian nations. He stressed the importance of peace in the region, saying that the loss of peace in Myanmar has hampered the country's development and affected the ASEAN community as a whole. He said, "The political crisis in Myanmar not only exacerbates internal political violence and armed conflicts, but will deprive the people of Myanmar of the opportunity for human development. Worse yet, it can undermine the very foundations of our ASEAN community, which we all have worked so hard to build." This is the first time that the King of Cambodia has held a royal hearing on the crisis in Myanmar. The Myanmar crisis stems from a military coup conducted on 1st February 2021, which saw the arrest of State Councillor Aung San Suu Kyi, President Win Myint, and several other ruling party officials by the Myanmar Armed Forces, who declared that it refused to recognize election results from November 2020 and thus handed over the country's leadership to the Commander-in-Chief of the National Army, Min Aung Hlaing. The coup sparked widespread protests in Myanmar, with numerous armed groups opposing the military regime. Myanmar is now a country with 2 governments and about 20 ethnic armed groups. The ongoing conflict is one of the longest continuing wars in the world. The 2022 ASEAN Chairman, Prime Minister Hun Sen, has said that he hopes the positive results of the 40th and 41st ASEAN summits and related summits will play an important role in identifying solutions to ensure peace, stability, and development of the region and the world. EAC News reporter Dekanin has the story.
Addressing the 43rd ASEAN Inter-Parliamentary Assembly on Monday morning, Prime Minister Hun Sen stated that although all security issues in the region could not be completely resolved, he believes that the positive results from the ASEAN summits and related summits in Cambodia were able to contribute to the overall solution-building process. He said, "These achievements and clear direction are a testament to ASEAN's unwavering political will to continue to push for regional integration and to adapt to the new normal path of development." Cambodia successfully concluded the 40th and 41st ASEAN summits and related summits on the 13th of November. The leaders of many participating countries expressed their satisfaction with the results achieved in 2022. Singaporean Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong wrote on his official Facebook page that what he remembered the most from attending the summits were the strategic, political, and economic issues discussed especially at the 17th East Asia Summit on the 13th of November 2022. He wrote, "We are a very diverse group, but the strength of ASEAN and the EAS is in bringing the leaders together for dialogue and discussion." Thanks to Samdech Hun Sen, Cambodian Prime Minister, for the warm hospitality and for a successful ASEAN chairmanship year. Prime Minister Hun Sen has stated that he believes Cambodia's national prestige has been recognized after the kingdom successfully hosted the summit. He noted that even though Cambodia is a small and poor country, it can still successfully lead and organize an international meeting of this scale, which is a major point of pride for the Cambodian people. During his speech, Prime Minister Hun Sen also congratulated the success of the APEC and G20 summits, which both concluded last week. He said that the APEC and G20 meetings, which were organized by the ASEAN members this year, importantly contribute to enhancing the prestige of ASEAN and are central to addressing common regional and global challenges. Prime Minister Hun Sen was invited by the G20 president in Indonesia and the president of APEC in Thailand to attend these 2 summits. However, he had to cancel his attendance after testing positive for COVID-19 while in Indonesia. The Prime Minister returned to Cambodia on the 15th of November and underwent a quarantine period before Cambodian medical officials confirmed the leader had tested negative for COVID-19 and could end his quarantine on Saturday, the 19th of November. Dekanin, EAC News.
China's defense minister has expressed satisfaction over the military cooperation between China and Cambodia. On Sunday afternoon, Chinese Defense Minister Wei Fenghe met with Prime Minister Hun Sen at the Peace Palace in Phnom Penh. During the meeting, Defense Minister Wei Fenghe stated that China would continue to support Cambodia and also expressed his satisfaction over the existing military cooperation between the 2 countries. Prime Minister Hun Sen in turn expressed his gratitude to China for its continued support of Cambodia, which has contributed to the development of the country and its human resources. A sand dredging ferry hit the Ballet Bridge in Rusekao district, causing it to collapse on Sunday evening. Luckily, officials from the Cambodian Navy were able to get to the scene on time and save the lives of the 3 ferry drivers. Rusekao District Defender Vin Ratanak confirmed to EAC News that after the ferry overturned and hit the Ballet Bridge on Sunday night, 3 ferry drivers were rescued by the Navy station near the ICOC. According to the Rusekao District Defender, who was guarding the bridge at the time of the accident, authorities sent the 3 ferry drivers to the Rusekao District Police Inspectorate for questioning after being rescued. The Rusekao District Governor also confirmed this matter to EAC News, reiterating that the 3 ferry drivers were taken in for further questioning and investigation. Residents of Rusekao District confirmed that around 5 p.m. on Sunday, a sand dredger was traveling from the riverside to the Ballet Bridge, about 200 meters away. However, due to strong winds and an engine breakdown, the ferry hit the Ballet Bridge, causing its 3 pillars to tilt. Ferry guards state that the crashed sand dredger cannot be removed immediately. This Monday morning, professionals and Rusekao district authorities gathered to discuss methods and techniques to dislodge the ferry from the bridge so that experts can get to repairing the bridge. The steel Ballet Bridge has been temporarily closed to all traffic while awaiting the sand dredger ferry's removal and further subsequent repairs. About 50,000 people were at the Morodok Tikcho National Stadium in Phnom Penh's Choichangwar district on Monday night to celebrate the opening ceremony of the 3rd National Games and the 1st Paralympic Games. The Games officially opened at 6 p.m. on Monday, 21st November. Many performances were displayed at the opening ceremony of this big national event, with the attendance and participation of Prime Minister Hun Sen as well. The organization of the 3rd National Games and 1st Paralympic Games in 2022 will help to prepare and measure the ability of Cambodian athletes who are set to compete in the upcoming Southeast Asian Games and ASEAN Para Games in 2023, which Cambodia will be hosting for the first time. Speaking at the opening ceremony, Prime Minister Hun Sen noted the massive crowd present and said that the COVID-19 pandemic is no longer an issue that can hinder Cambodia's ambitions, as Cambodians have now learned how to live with the disease so it can no longer prevent the opening of such major sporting events. The Prime Minister himself was able to attend after testing negative for COVID-19 on Sunday. During his speech, Prime Minister Hun Sen also urged all athletes with disabilities to strive to show everyone that persons with disabilities have the ability to play sports just like athletes that do not have disabilities. This is the first time that Cambodia has organized a sports competition for athletes with disabilities to take part. The Ministry of Education, Youth and Sports and the National Olympic Committee of Cambodia has chosen a list of 38 sports and 7 Paralympic sports for the 3rd National Games and 1st National Paralympic Games. The Games are taking place from 19th to 30th November 2022 at the Morodok Tekcho National Stadium. Prime Minister Hun Sen has requested the Secretary-General of the United Nations, Antonio Guterres, to consider demining issues in the United Nations Sustainable Development Plan. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has the story.
Speaking at a closing ceremony conference commemorating 30 years of mine action in Cambodia on Tuesday morning at Kopik Theatre in Phnom Penh, Prime Minister Hun Sen stated that during his meeting with the UN Secretary-General on the sidelines of the Asian Summit, the two discussed a number of issues, including mine action, the deployment of blue helmet soldiers, and the Khmer Rouge. Prime Minister said that he had asked the Secretary-General to consider include demining in the US Sustainable Development Plan, as he saw that the removal of mines is still a challenge that many countries face in the world. In response, the UN Secretary-General said he welcomed the suggestion and would discuss it with other countries for inclusion. Prime Minister Hun Sen added that there was no mention of human rights issues in Cambodia during the meeting. The Sustainable Development Goals are a collective of 17 interlinked global goals designed to be a shared blueprint for peace and prosperity for people and the planet now and in the future. The SDGs were developed in 2015 by the UN General Assembly and scheduled to completion in 2030. Cambodia has also implemented the SDGs into the development framework, but has added the goal of demining so Cambodia strives to achieve 18 SDGs. During the same Tuesday morning event, commemorating 30 years of mine action, the first Vice President of the Cambodian Mine Action Authority, Senior Minister Lee Tut, said that over the past 30 years, 150 Cambodian deminers have made huge sacrifices to help clear mines in Cambodia, including 30 who have lost their lives. Cambodia has more than 2,000 hectares of land with unexploded ordnance, and mines are still left to clear. The Kingdom strives to clear all mines by 2025. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
Prime Minister Hun Sen has ordered the chairman of the Cambodian Boundary Commission to coordinate with Thailand to resolve the issues of landmines along the Thai border after he discussed this matter with Thai Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha on the sidelines of the ASEAN summits earlier this month. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has more.
Addressing the closing ceremony conference commemorating 30 years of mine action in Cambodia on Tuesday morning at the Kopik Theatre in Phnom Penh, Prime Minister Hun Sen said that Thai Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha agreed to work together with Cambodia to clear mines along the border before setting up border posts. According to the Prime Minister, the current Cambodian-Thai border, which has not yet been clearly demarcated, is suspected to have a 40-kilometre stretch that is inflicted with landmines. The border has between Cambodian Vietnam and Cambodian Laos, on the other hand, have already has much of their issues resolved. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
Prime Minister Hun Sen has announced that if nothing changes, China's defense minister will meet with the U.S. Secretary of Defense in Siem Reap, Cambodia, during the 9th ASEAN Defense Ministers Meeting Plus. Speaking at the opening ceremony of the 3rd National Games and the 1st National Para Games on Monday evening at the Moradok Tekcho National Stadium, Prime Minister Hun Sen confirmed that this meeting in Siem Reap will turn Cambodia into a place where both powers can negotiate, which will help facilitate a stable and peaceful situation. The Prime Minister said he hopes the two ministers will act as mediators during this meeting as well.
If it's happening and you need to know about it, you'll get it all right here. EAC News brings you updates and breaking news in English across all of our platforms and channels. The EAC News app, YouTube, Facebook, Telegram, Twitter, and our website www.eacnews.asia. Join me and the rest of the EAC News team every day on your favorite channels. EAC News, Cambodia made clear.
The Deputy Commander-in-Chief of the Royal Cambodian Armed Forces and Commander of the Army, Lieutenant General Hun Manait, met with the National Assembly President of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam on Monday evening. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has the details.
Vietnamese National Assembly President Vong Dinh Hue is paying a 5-day official visit in Cambodia 19th to 23rd November 2022 to attend the 43rd Asian Inter-Parliament Assembly in Phnom Penh. During his visit, he has discussed bilateral work with the President of National Assembly of Cambodia, Heng Samrin, and also paid a courtesy visit to the President of the Senate, Sai Chum, and Prime Minister Hun Sen. The meeting with Lieutenant General Hun Manait was held in a warm, friendly, understanding and trusting atmosphere with a focus of continuing to deepen its ties and solidarity, traditional friendship and cooperation in all fields between the two countries and especially between Cambodia and the Vietnamese youth. The two sides hailed the continuous development of bilateral relations in direction of good neighbourliness, traditional friendship, comprehensive cooperation and long-term stability. The two sides also noted with appreciation the past bilateral cooperation in fields including diplomacy, defence, security, economic, trade, investment, health, education, tourism, culture and border issues. The two sides expressed their mutual commitment to further strengthening ties. In addition, they also affirmed that the people-to-people contacts, especially among young, have greatly contributed to bilateral relations between the two countries. The President of National Assembly of Vietnam and Lieutenant General Hun Manait agreed as brothers and good neighbours to continue maintaining close ties between the two countries, youth for the benefit of peace, friendship and development. At the same time, the two sides affirmed that they will increase cooperation and mutual support in multilateral forms, both regional and globally. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
The Secretary of State of the Ministry of Public Works and Transport, Mein Man Vi, signed a Memorandum of Understanding on strengthening traffic safety and improving safety equipment in school areas in Cambodia with a representative of the Gachon University Alliance of the Republic of Korea on Monday morning. EAC News reporter Decca Nin has more.
The signing of this MOU is aimed at implementing activities to reduce the rate of accidents, deaths, and serious injuries due to traffic accidents on the road. In particular, it will promote continuous awareness among road traffic experts of the road safety environment in Cambodia. The MOU is valid for 5 years from the date of signing on the 21st of November 2022 to the 20th of November 2027. The representatives of the GACHON University Alliance of the Republic of Korea, Professor Ho Yeok, said the area around schools should be taken care of in order to maintain good traffic safety. Traffic accidents involving children are something that must be reduced as much as possible, so improving road safety in school areas is something that cannot be overlooked, and traffic safety education should start from primary school onwards. The Secretary of State for the Ministry of Public Works, Mein Man Vi, stated that NGOs and private institutions provide important support to the royal government in strengthening traffic safety in Cambodia. She added that she believes this project will be able to contribute to reducing traffic accidents and changing the behavior of drivers, especially around school areas, and will also be a sustainable project that will undergo further developments following the signing of the MOU. Dekanin, EAC News.
On the 16th of November, ABC presented its flagship platform, The Exceptional Campaign, to spotlight 10 exceptional Cambodians from 5 different industries who have defined their own versions of success. EAC News reporter Decca Nin attended the event to learn more about this new campaign.
This is the second season of ABC's The Exceptional Campaign. The brand chose to move forward with this platform because it believes that the 10 chosen Cambodian trailblazers truly embody the strength and leadership of a lion, which is ABC's mascot. The brand notes that the rules of success are evolving in society, so ABC wishes to act as a platform to help showcase that fact.
I must say, we are very honored to be able to share those beautiful stories, right? We as a brand are able to offer this platform to people right in the country to really share exceptional stories. It's not about us, right? It's about us helping them to share their stories through this platform.
Although The Exceptional is not a competition and rather a platform to showcase 10 exceptional individuals in Cambodia, one person will be chosen to receive $20,000. On Batam, better known as the singer Sai, received $20,000 in the first season of The Exceptional last year for his exceptional character and outstanding contributions to society. True to his nature, he invested $10,000 into his Run with Sai Virtual Run 2021 project, which raised funds for various local charities and organizations. This year, the singer continued his Run with Sai project and ran 303 kilometers from Phnom Penh to Siem Reap, raising more than $130,000 as of November 2022 for a local charity. This year, award-winning film director Rithi Lamopik, also known as Yoki, directed 1-minute short films focused on each of the 10 exceptional individuals. Through this film, she provides a personal look into each of the 10 chosen individuals. ABC's 10 exceptional individuals this year are Chia Langda, founder and CEO of Book Me Bus, the go-to online platform for booking multiple transportation tickets, including for buses, trains, and ferries and taxis. The company's award-winning ticketing management system is used by various transport operators in the region, facilitating over 2 million travelers a year. Although he got his degree in computer science, Chia Langda realized later on that he was born to be an entrepreneur and work in the tourism sector. Something he would like to advise young people is to not limit themselves and to adopt new technology.
Everyone should not limit themselves by the certificate or degree that they are holding, right? Young people can do, especially by adopting technology as well.
Samjan Kadiruat, founder and CEO of the award-winning fintech startup Banji, has 17 years of experience in strategy and finance, and also serves as the vice president of the Young Entrepreneur Association of Cambodia and is part of various other industry boards. Lu Meng, chef, culinary author, and hospitality entrepreneur, developed his skills in Singapore and Malaysia before returning to Cambodia to work at a string of 5-star hotels. He then launched the esteemed Manlis restaurant and a series of other hospitality operations. Paul Kim San, one of the renowned Kim San twins, pioneered a new genre for fine Khmer dining. She has showcased her skills at the revered Embassy restaurant in Siem Reap and across the globe. She is also a graduate of the prestigious Paul de Breuil Hospitality School. Kim San said that it has been challenging being a woman in the culinary industry, but she wants to continue paving the way for other female Cambodian chefs. Van Natasha is a Hong Kong-born Cambodian fashion designer who launched her couture clothing line in Cambodia and has also made a name for herself internationally as a forward-thinking fashion designer as well as a photographer, art director, businesswoman, and TV personality. Nat Sok Nan is a fashion designer with a background in agriculture who has repeatedly wowed the fashion industry with his premium designs. To ensure that he continues to create the finest evening dresses, tulle, or bridal gowns, Sok Nan travels the world to source premium materials. His collections have graced the catwalks of KL Fashion Week and Malaysia Fashion Week. Rithi Lamopik, also known as K-Saw, is a singer who has pushed Cambodia's contemporary music scene forward. She was the lead vocalist of Small World Small Band, a band that reshaped Cambodia's music landscape with its original sound. Her exceptional drive has also seen her co-found Plern Kop, a creative house that aims to connect artists and develop modern Cambodian music, and Bon Pum, an annual art and cultural festival. Despite her success, Kaysal said she still had a hard time showing love to herself. She added that she is glad to join the exceptional campaign to help empower herself and others even more.
បន្ទាប់ពីខ្ញុំបានចូលរួមកម្មវិធី exceptional ជាមួយនឹងក្រុម ABC like finally ខ្ញុំមានអារម្មណ៍ថាខ្ញុំសប្បាយចិត្តនឹងការនិយាយថាខ្ញុំមានមោទនភាពលើខ្លួនឯងខ្ញុំគិតថាអាហ្នឹងគឺពិបាករហមែនតើព្រោះខ្ញុំគិតថាយើងគ្រប់គ្នានៅតែគិតថាអូខ្ញុំអត់ល្អឯងខ្ញុំអូអត់ទាន់មានសមត្ថភាពឯងអូខ្ញុំអន់ណាកុំយកខ្ញុំអូទាំងបកគោជោគជ័យទេប៉ុន្តែថ្ងៃនេះធ្វើឲ្យខ្ញុំឆ្លុះបង្ហាញថាក៏ពិតពេលខ្លះយើង too hard on ourselves យើងគិតថាអូយយើងនិយាយទៅយើងបកកាយខាងប្រអន់ខ្លួនឯងតែសរសើរគេយើងលឿនមែនតើតែខ្ញុំគិតថាថ្ងៃនេះខ្ញុំទទួលបានមួយទៀតហ្នឹងគឺចាប់ផ្ដើមសរសើរខ្លួនឯងស្រឡាញ់ខ្លួនឯងហើយ yes ធ្វើល្អដាក់ខ្លួនឯងបានច្រើន yeah
Kun Vitinit, better known as DJ Miley, made a splash after winning the first Pioneer Digital Battle in 2014. The iconic female DJ's passion for music and creating a buzz on the dance floor has seen her make a big name for herself on the regional music circuit and has crowned her Cambodia's queen of clubbing. Being a female DJ, Miley said she did not have any mentors she could learn from. She could only rely on YouTube videos to teach herself and fly around to other countries to learn from other DJs. She said what helped her achieve her current position in her career was having a clear goal and being true to herself, which is something that she wants younger generations to also know.
Love yourself first and be confident, be yourself and clear with your goal and respect your goal, respect people around you, and just keep fighting no matter how hard it is. Keep pull through. Keep tell yourself that okay, I can make it, I can do it, I can make it. If anyone can do it, if I can do it, you can do it.
Nguyen Kavik is an acclaimed film director who made a name for himself after graduating from the Cambodian Living Arts and Lingkok Wing University of Creative Technology in 2013. After directing his debut short film A Scale Boy in a workshop led by the award-winning director Reti Pan, Kavik released his latest work, White Building, to additional critical acclaim. Jom Suthi, a renowned TV commercial director, kickstarted his career after graduating in film production from South Korea in 2016. He has worked on producing a vast range of content, including documentaries, short films, TV game shows, and TV commercials. He is also an alumni of prestigious film academies, including AFA 2017 and FAJR 2019. As a filmmaker, Suthi said he knows firsthand how hard it is to raise funds to create original films. He said that if he was chosen to get the $20,000, he would donate part of it as a seed money for young filmmakers.
I'm really excited to contribute it to the film education in Cambodia. As far as I know, one of the school that was very particular in film production was PSE. They contribute a lot to our film industry. They train a lot of young kids. Definitely, I want them to have a share in this winning. I also want to put down some effort from the winning into sponsoring short film. If you are a filmmaker, you know how hard it is to find that money to make your first short film or your second one, or you have a script that you're really passionate about. They want to develop it. I want to put it there, to help start new dreams. Start people on the path that they've always wanted to do to go to. Yeah.
ABC will be hosting more exceptional events to celebrate these 10 exceptional individuals in December. Be the first to know about these exclusive events and find out how you can secure your invites by following their social media pages. Nikanin, EAC News.
Congratulations to our second season of the Exceptional Campaign. What a lovely introduction.
The 2022 ASEAN Chairman, Prime Minister Hun Sen, has shared three main features of Cambodia's experience in achieving peace. These include openness to negotiations, ensuring security for all parties, and autonomy for the countries involved. Addressing the opening ceremony of the 9th ASEAN Defense Ministers meeting at the Soka Hotel in Siem Reap on Wednesday morning, Prime Minister Hun Sen remarked on Cambodia's experience of more than 3 decades of civil war and said that the country can share its experience with others to potentially aid in the process of peacemaking, peace building, peacekeeping, and post-war nation building.
ទី1 យើងត្រូវតែរក្សាទ្វារឲ្យចំហជានិច្ច សម្រាប់កិច្ចពិភាក្សានយោបាយនិងការចរចាប្រកបដោយបរិយាបន្នទី2យើងត្រូវធានានូវសុវត្ថិភាពយុត្តិធម៌និងសុខុមាលភាពរបស់គ្រប់ភាគីទាំងអស់ទី3យើងត្រូវមានភាពម្ចាស់ការគណៈដែលកំពុងទទួលខុសត្រូវលើដំណើរការសន្តិភាពជាម្ចាស់នៃប្រទេសជាតិពិតជាសំខាន់ណាស់សម្រាប់ការចរចាសន្តិភាព
The Prime Minister made these remarks while citing the scourge of civil war in Myanmar, the consequences of which are being felt across the ASEAN region. He added that 10 years ago, in 2012, the Prime Minister had asked ASEAN to consider the establishment of a no civil war zone or no conflict zone. However, at the time, no ASEAN member would consider this issue, which may have affected what is happening in Myanmar today. The current ongoing crisis in Myanmar began from a military coup on 1st February 2021, which saw the arrest of State Councillor Aung San Suu Kyi, President Win Myint, and several other ruling party officials by the Myanmar Armed Forces. Refusing to recognize the results from Myanmar's national 2020 elections, the armed forces handed over the country's leadership to the commander-in-chief of the National Army, Min Aung Hlaing. The coup sparked widespread protests in Myanmar with numerous armed groups opposing the military regime. Myanmar is now a country with 2 governments and about 20 ethnic armed groups. The ongoing conflict is one of the longest continuing wars in the world. In Cambodia, it has now been 23 years since peace and national reconciliation was achieved. The country presently has national unity under a single government, following Prime Minister Hun Sen's win-win policy. Achieving peace has allowed the royal government to focus on developing the country to this day. The chairman of ASEAN in 2022, Prime Minister Hun Sen, has urged Southeast Asian nations to pay attention to health and climate security issues, as these issues are a major burden in the present and will continue to be in the future as well. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has more.
Speaking at the opening ceremony of the 9th Asian Defence Ministers meeting at the Soccer Hotel in Siem Reap on Wednesday morning, Prime Minister Hun Sen said the COVID-19 pandemic is a wake-up call for us all to pay more attention to the health security. Climate security is another important issue that we need to mobilise more efforts and resources. Civil-military cooperation on all aspects of security is even more important. For the past 3 years, the COVID-19 pandemic has caused issues across the globe and in the ASEAN region, along with ongoing climate crisis that continues to cause global tensions. This month alone, 2 countries in Southeast Asia were hit by natural disasters, with Malaysia facing flash floods and Indonesia being hit by a devastating earthquake that has affected tens of thousands of lives. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
The Deputy Commander-in-Chief of the Royal Cambodian Armed Forces and Commander of the Army, Lieutenant General Hun Manait, paid a courtesy call to the Minister of Defence of the Republic of India, Rajnath Singh, on Tuesday evening on the sidelines of the 9th ASEAN Defence Ministers meeting in Siem Reap. EAC News reporter Dekanin has further details.
Indian Defence Minister Rajnath Singh spoke about the relationship Cambodia and India have maintained from the past until the present day and reaffirmed that India will continue to strengthen and expand this good relationship for the common interest of both countries and peoples. He also expressed his full support for Lieutenant General Hun Manait's candidacy as the future Prime Minister of Cambodia. In response, Lieutenant General Hun Manait thanked the Indian government, army, and people for their support of Cambodia in difficult circumstances after the Khmer Rouge regime and during the process of building peace, becoming signatories of the Paris Agreement, and also sending peacekeepers under the United Nations umbrella to Cambodia. The Indian Defence Minister and the commander of the Cambodian Army mutually agreed on the need to further strengthen and expand relations in all fields, especially people-to-people ties and defence cooperation, which must be maintained for the long term. Dekanin, EAC News.
The Secretary of State of the Ministry of Social Affairs, Veterans and Youth Rehabilitation, M. Chan Makara, has emphasized that the Ministry of Social Affairs and General Secretariat of the Disability Action Council are committed to ensuring that all women and girls, especially women and girls with disabilities, have equal rights, equal opportunities and protections, and will also have their voices uplifted in the decision-making process. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has more.
Secretary of State M. Chan Makara expressed this commitment on behalf of the Ministry of Social Affairs, Vong Sut, during the training course of basic knowledge of the interconnection between gender and disability and negotiation skills for women with disabilities at the Sunway Hotel on Wednesday morning. The Secretary of State noted that the COVID-19 pandemic and geopolitical tensions have led to rising inflation, which is affecting people's livelihoods. Although the COVID-19 situation has improved, some people in society have fallen under the poverty line and increasingly vulnerable to unemployment, health problems, malnutrition and other hardships that disproportionately affected women, especially women with disabilities. He added that the Royal Government of Cambodia has launched a social assistance program to meet the needs and improve the living conditions of people living in poverty. The government has mostly notably provided cash support to the poor and vulnerable families during the fight of COVID-19. The Royal Government has provided social assistance to a total of 706,060 poor and vulnerable families, including 64,709 families with disabilities, amounting to more than $800 million from the state budget. In addition, more than 8 billion riyal has been provided to pregnant women and children under the age of 2, including 185,229 pregnant women and 108,287 children under the age of 2. Secretary of State M. Chan Makara outlined how the Royal Government of Cambodia has also set out and ensure gender equality for women with disabilities, set in the government's 7th strategic direction with a clear vision of importance of gender equality and the empowerment of the women with disabilities, which is an effective way to achieve sustainable and inclusive development. In addition, he said that in recent years, the Ministry of Social Affairs have paved the way for the new and more open opportunities for women and girls with disabilities. In order to take full advantage of the National Disability Strategic Plan, this includes particularly creating skilled job opportunities for women and facilitating success of finance and training of women entrepreneurs to expand their businesses. The Secretary of State of the Ministry of Social Affairs and Secretary-General of Disability Action Council confirmed that the Royal Government will soon implement 2 more social assistance programs, a cash assistance program for vulnerable families facing inflationary pressures and cash support for programs for flooded-affected families. Secretary of State M. Chan Makara also assured that the Ministry of Social Affairs clearly recognises that women and girls with disabilities around the world disproportionately face gender disability, discrimination, as well as poverty, violence and other forms of stigma, especially when compared to men without disabilities and women without disabilities in the Asian Pacific region. He said that in the National Disability Strategic Plan 2019 and 2023, in its 7th strategic direction, focuses entirely on gender issues and ending the use of violence against women and girls with disabilities, with the emphasis on the rights of women and girls with disabilities and preventing all forms of gender equality. He said, "I strongly believe that organising this training course will allow children of women with disabilities to participate, discuss, negotiate and look for support to make attending their full rights a reality, and led to the elimination of all forms of discrimination and violence." Senior officials of the Ministry of Social Affairs call on all citizens to increase awareness in the disability field and to especially work together to prevent all forms of violence against women and girls with disabilities so that Cambodia can become a country that is violence-free for all. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
The Secretary of State of the Ministry of Social Affairs, Veterans and Youth Rehabilitation and Secretary-General of Disability Action Council, M. Chan Makara, has praised the Ministry of Culture and Fine Arts for playing an important role in improving the living conditions of persons with disabilities in Cambodia. Speaking at a seminar on the dissemination of laws and regulations related to disability at the Ministry of Culture on Wednesday morning, Secretary of State M. Chan Makara, representing the Minister of Social Affairs, Vong Sut, said that the encouragement of the Ministry of Culture and Fine Arts for persons with disabilities in Cambodia contributes to helping persons with disabilities live independently. He said that the organization of this workshop shows the attention the Ministry of Culture and Fine Arts, especially the ministry's working group of persons with disabilities, pays to the implementation of the National Disability Strategic Plan 2019 to 2023. He added that persons with disabilities face many different obstacles in society, including discrimination and stigma. Persons with disabilities face these negative attitudes in all aspects of life, including in culture and fine arts. Secretary of State M. Chan Makara said, "If we can change the mindset of people who believe that disability leads to unhappiness and stop the association of negative perceptions with persons with disabilities, which creates stigma, discrimination, and denial, then culture and the fine arts can really contribute to making the dreams of persons with disabilities come true, making achieving equal rights a reality." In this regard, he outlined a number of factors that can contribute to addressing negative perceptions about disability, including raising disability awareness in the field of culture and fine arts among artists, poets, producers, owners of radio and television stations, and more, as well as promoting the honor and dignity of persons with disabilities and providing more opportunities in the field of culture and fine arts. In particular, the Secretary of State promoted the display of artwork, handicrafts, and other products made by persons with disabilities at various ceremonies of culture and fine arts. The royal government of Cambodia has set out a number of strategies to create opportunities for equal participation in social activities, including in the fields of culture, arts, religion, sports, recreation, and more, which will help to ensure the participation of persons with disabilities in all facets of society. Secretary of State M. Chan Makara further pushed for the mobilization of supplies and materials in the field of arts and culture for persons with disabilities. This includes organizing art groups and facilitating access for persons with disabilities to participate in cultural arts programs in television, film, theater, and other cultural activities, and creating arts programs and cultural activities to show the potential and skills of persons with disabilities. The Secretary of State also promotes the development of intellectual, artistic, creative, and sports talents among persons with disabilities, and the development of policies to reduce the costs of transportation, accommodation, food, and entertainment services to provide opportunities for persons with disabilities to manage leisure and tourism activities on their own. Secretary of State M. Chan Makara said, "Mobilizing resources to ensure the supply of cultural arts materials to persons with disabilities who have access to them is an indispensable point. Artistic grouping and facilitation for persons with disabilities to participate in arts and culture programs in television, film, theater, and other cultural activities is also included in the Disability Priority Plan." The Chaktamuk Short Film Festival hosted its first press conference on Monday at Legend Premium Nora Mall to share the current milestones and features of this year's festival with all its partners who are supporting and anticipating the 11th edition beginning on 25th November. The press conference was attended by the festival director Som Siten, this year's international programmer Ruat Sansetani, Legend Premium Nora Mall's general manager Pan Pua, as well as numerous other partners, filmmakers, and actors. Festival director Som Siten remarked on the 5 main features of this year's CSFF, which are an increase in the number of local short film entries, an improved production quality throughout submissions, an increased number of awards and special mentions, special short films to open and close the festival, and a return to Cineplex screenings. Regarding short film entries, Siten stated that 55 out of 185 entries in total were selected for competition and showcase. Most notably, the festival received 36 local entries this year, which is an increase of 9 titles from last year, indicating that filmmakers in Cambodia have resumed making films after the COVID-19 pandemic. Siten also noted an overall improvement in production quality in this year's submissions, which included 2 selected titles that have already collected multiple awards across the globe. He said this shows that young Cambodian filmmakers continue to polish their craft and produce work that is worth festival recognition. A major update in this year's edition of CSFF is the expansion of awards and special mentions. The top prize of Best Cambodian Short Film will receive a $1,000 cash prize, while second place will receive $500 in cash and Best International Short Film will receive $300 in cash. Regarding special mentions, the Audience Award for Local Short Film will receive a $300 cash prize, while the Audience Award for International Short Film and the 2 special jury awards for local and international short films will receive certificates of appreciation as well. The festival director also highlighted that the opening of the 11th CSFF will host a special screening of the internationally acclaimed short film California Dreaming by independent female filmmaker Mia Sraylin. The closing, in turn, will also feature a screening of the short film Mother's Tongue by Jean-Baptiste Pua. All the short films selected for the festival will be screened in cinemas across Phnom Penh, including the Chaktamuk Conference Hall, Legend Premium Noro Mall, and Major Cineplex by Smart Soria. Siten said these settings opened the door to a new era of CSFF, which was unable to screen its program in cinemas for the past 3 years due to the pandemic and other logistical issues. The general manager of Legend Premium Noromal, Pan Pua, said he really admires the efforts of the Sunflower Film Alliance for organizing this festival. He remarked on how even despite budgetary constraints, CSFF has now reached its 11th year, which is the same age as the Legend Cinema Group. He reaffirmed that his company will continue to promote and host screenings of Cambodian short and feature films. The 11th edition of CSFF will be officially held from 25th to 28th November 2022. For 4 days in a row, film lovers can catch screenings and attend festival events taking place at the Chaktamuk Theatre, Legend Premium Nora Mall, or Major Cineplex by Smart Soria. CSFF this year is supported by a number of local institutions, including the Ministry of Culture and Fine Arts, Ministry of Information, Cambodian Children's Fund, Purin Pictures, Legend Cinema, Major Cineplex, EAC News, and more. The festival continues to be open for further financial support in order to smoothly host its 11th edition, and is accepting donations through the Sunflower Film Organization's official ABA bank account. For more updates on CSFF, follow the festival's official social media platforms. EAC News, as an official media partner, will be covering the festival closely in the coming days. The closing ceremony for the 43rd ASEAN Inter-Parliamentary General Assembly was held on Thursday, with Cambodian National Assembly President Heng Samrin delivering the closing remarks. As the president of the 43rd AIPA General Assembly, Heng Samrin thanked all delegates for their cooperation, understanding, and contribution to the success of the General Assembly. He said all delegates had worked hard over the past 5 days to ensure the meeting was meaningful and impactful, and as a result, significant outcomes were achieved. The National Assembly President highlighted 5 main outputs from the AIPA General Assembly, the first of which was that the AIPA welcomed 3 new observer parliaments. He congratulated the National Assemblies of Nepal, Azerbaijan, and the Congress of the United States for recognizing and approving full AIPA observer conditions. The second main output of the meeting highlighted was the enhanced mutual trust and understanding within AIPA and between AIPA and observer parliaments. There were 16 dialogue panels held with partners from various parts of the world, reflecting the shared interests, common objectives, and collective effort to address challenges together. The AIPA General Assembly also adopted several resolutions under the frameworks of WAIPA, YPA, political matters, economic matters, social matters, and organizational matters. National Assembly President Heng Samrin underlined that Cambodia proposed 2 new initiatives this year, including the first meeting of young parliamentarians and the establishment of an AIPA digital law library. He further noted that the AIPA has demonstrated a spirit of unity and solidarity, with the General Assembly reflecting how the member states and partners can come together to share ideas, come up with solutions and policy proposals, and express a collective political commitment to building a more inclusive, sustainable, and resilient ASEAN community. Finally, National Assembly President Heng Samrin said the 43rd AIPA General Assembly proves that the principles of consultation and consensus-based decision-making remain fundamental to ASEAN's unity and centrality, with the added shared observation that the 4 principles of mutual respect, understanding, trust, and interest for peace and prosperity are vital to regional integration and community building. The Cambodian National Assembly President said he hopes the results achieved at the AIPA General Assembly are translated into concrete actions. He further congratulated 3 outstanding figures presented with the AIPA Distinguished Service Award, including the Vice President of the Cambodian National Assembly, the former Speaker of the Republic of the Philippines, and the Speaker of the Legislative Assembly of Brunei Darussalam. He concluded his remarks by thanking the AIPA National Secretariat, the AIPA Secretariat, the Advisory Council, and all supporting staff for contributing to the success of the General Assembly. Prime Minister Hun Sen has said that the relationship between Cambodia and the United States is making remarkable progress and is now better than ever. EAC News reporter Dekanin has the story.
Addressing a meeting with the chairman of the U.S. House Committee on Foreign Affairs, Gregory Meeks, at the Peace Palace on Wednesday evening, Prime Minister Hun Sen noted that the trade volume between the two countries has increased and many large companies from the U.S. have also invested in Cambodia, such as Ford and General Electric. Gregory Meeks, the chairman of the U.S. House Committee on Foreign Affairs, is visiting Cambodia to attend the ASEAN Interparliamentary Assembly organized by the National Assembly of Cambodia. He informed the Prime Minister that his visit to Cambodia is to attend the AIPA meeting and to further expand relations with Cambodia, following on from the U.S. President Joe Biden's recent attendance of the ASEAN Summit and related summits and the invitation extended to the U.S. Secretary of Defense to attend the ASEAN Defense Ministers Meeting Plus. Meeks also stated that the Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris, was very pleased that he was in Cambodia meeting with the Prime Minister, showing the United States' commitment to Cambodia and ASEAN strengthening one another in the respective legislative and executive branches. U.S. President Joe Biden traveled to Cambodia to attend the ASEAN summits and related summits from the 12th to the 13th of November 2022. During his time in Phnom Penh, he also held a face-to-face meeting with the Cambodian Prime Minister and attracted a lot of attention by taking selfies with the Cambodian people. To enhance closer ties with the United States, the royal government of Cambodia continues to hire Washington, D.C.-based lobbying firm Arkin Gum Strauss Hauer & Feld LLP to lobby with the U.S. government for approximately $720,000 a year. This contract was presented on the 21st of January 2022. During a meeting with Arkin Gum representative Scott David Parvin during Prime Minister Hun Sen's visit to the United States in May 2022, he said that Cambodia-U.S. relations have improved both diplomatically and economically. However, some misunderstandings have affected the relationship. The Prime Minister urged Parvin to lobby with the United States government to give them a better understanding of Cambodia. Dekanin EAC News.
Cambodia and Morocco may establish further relations starting from economic and trade ties between the two countries. This was stated by Prime Minister Hun Sen during a meeting with the Speaker of the House of Representatives of Morocco. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has more.
During a meeting with the Speaker of House of Representatives of Morocco, Rashid Talbi Alami, on Wednesday evening at the Peace Palace in Phnom Penh, Prime Minister Hun Sen urged Morocco to increase economic and trade relations with Cambodia, and he said that this is based on the good relations in both politics and other fields. The minister attached to the Prime Minister, Eng Sopalet, told reporters after the meeting that the Prime Minister has said that the two parties can look into presentation of no taxation agreements to make it easy for investors for both countries. According to a report by the Ministry of Commerce, bilateral trade between Cambodia and Morocco reached about $4.4 million in 2021, which is an increase of 4.42% compared to 2020, while exports from Cambodia reached more than $4.3 million as well. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
If it's happening and you need to know about it, you'll get it all right here. EAC News brings you updates and breaking news in English across all of our platforms and channels. The EAC News app, YouTube, Facebook, Telegram, Twitter, and our website www.eacnews.asia. Join me and the rest of the EAC News team every day on your favorite channels. EAC News, Cambodia made clear.
Cambodia commenced the construction of the first international standard tourism schools in Phnom Penh and Sihanoukville on Thursday morning. The Minister of Land Management, Chie Sophara, stated that the National School of Tourism Vocational Training will be the first public school in Cambodia to act as a public institution of tourism administration training and a center of excellence in the tourism sector, set at both national and international standards. Minister Chie Sophara said that the school will also be providing high-quality tourism and hospitality vocational training to meet the new tourism needs of the COVID-19 crisis. The Minister of Land Management emphasized that both are national schools, and these locations will act as tourism training centers in accordance with national and international standards, which are necessary to assess the professional skills required for the development of tourism in Cambodia both now and in the future. The minister further requested the Ministry of Tourism and the National School of Tourism Vocational Training to cooperate with the Ministry of Economy and Finance and the Ministry of Public Function to properly manage the structure of the two schools. At the same time, the school must cooperate with the private sector to develop its curriculum and operational and training plan to ensure the school's success, sustainability, and efficiency. The director of the French Agency for Development in Cambodia, Jacques Berle, said that the construction of the two national tourism vocational schools will contribute to strengthening the quality and competitiveness of Cambodia's tourism sector. The Minister of Tourism, Thong Khon, also confirmed that this project to establish the National Schools of Tourism Vocational Training required an initial investment of $26.5 million from the royal government. The land where the school will be built in Phnom Penh has an area of 4,000 square meters and has a value equivalent to about $10 million, while the land in Sihanoukville is around 1,775 square meters and is equivalent to about $4.5 million. The construction process, equipment provision, consulting, and other expenses are funded by the French Agency for Development under a $12 million loan. The Minister of Tourism said that the construction of the National School of Tourism. Prime Minister Hun Sen met with the President of the National Assembly of Indonesia, Puan Maharani, at the Peace Palace on Thursday morning. The Prime Minister's assistant, Ieng Sopalait, told reporters after the meeting that Prime Minister Hun Sen requested the President of the National Assembly of Indonesia to consider the possibility of encouraging Indonesian investors to invest in the agricultural sector in Cambodia. This could mean investing in the construction of warehouses, dryers, or mills so that rice from Cambodian farmers produced at these locations can be exported directly to Indonesia. Ieng Sopalait added that Indonesian companies can also cooperate with Cambodian farmers to grow the rice that they need. During the meeting, the Indonesian National Assembly president praised the relationship between Indonesia and Cambodia and stressed that the two countries still have the potential to further expand relations on the basis of existing ties and by promoting parliamentary relations, people-to-people connections, and cooperation in agriculture and other possible sectors. The Prime Minister's assistant said that in addition to requesting more Indonesian investment in Cambodia, Prime Minister Hun Sen also brought up the possibility of establishing direct flight connections between the two countries and reaffirmed a commitment to promoting relations between parliament, people-to-people connections, and tourism. The Minister of Commerce, Pan Sosak, has said that the government will continue to exempt income tax for rice exporters and rice mill owners for 5 more years. He made this statement during the annual general meeting and election for the 4th mandate on Wednesday morning. EAC News reporter Dekanin has more details.
Ministry of Commerce spokesperson Pain Sovitji has confirmed to EAC News that the government's policy to help the rice sector through tax incentives continues. However, he reminded that companies that have expired tax exemption documents must reapply. Minister Pan Sosak affirmed that the Ministry of Commerce will strive to help the rice sector in Cambodia become more competitive, highlighting how the royal government has also been encouraging more investment and expansion to international markets in this sector. He stressed that the Ministry of Commerce not only considers rice exporters, but also strives to help small-scale farmers, especially by promoting agricultural contracts between farmers and small-scale rice mills with work carried through the accelerating exclusive markets for smallholders. He stressed that the Ministry of Commerce not only considers rice exporters, but also strives to help small-scale farmers, especially by promoting agricultural contracts between farmers and small-scale rice mills with work carried out through the Accelerating Inclusive Markets for Smallholders project, funded by the royal government and IFAD. The Ministry of Economy and Finance on the 11th of October 2011 announced a minimum tax exemption of 1% on the annual turnover. Additionally, maximum income tax exemption includes a key period plus a priority period of 3 years. Since 2015, after the introduction of the first phase of the 2010-2015 rice policy, investors, exporters, and rice mill owners of Cambodia have been exempt from annual income tax. Taxes on byproducts from locally sold rice are exempt, withholding tax is suspended and waived, rice export fees are exempt, and payment for the Ministry of Environment's environmental impact assessment is also waived. There are also special preferential rates for rice exports on consumer services in Sihanoukville and Phnom Penh ports, and special rates on rice loans from the Rural Development and Agriculture Bank, which encourage other private banks to lower interest rates from over 12% to below 8% per annum. In the first 10 months of 2022, Cambodia exported nearly 510,000 tons of rice to foreign markets, an increase of 10.67% compared to the first 10 months of 2021. At the same time, Cambodia also exported more than 2 million tons of rice to Vietnam, a decrease of 8.27% compared to the same period in 2021. Dekanin, EAC News.
The vice chairman of the board of the Samdech Tekcho Voluntary Youth Doctor Association and president of the Waterwell Foundation, Pek Chanmani, handed over 10 water wells to people living in 3 communes in Mondulkiri province. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has the details.
The 3 communes that received clean water wells were Royo, Srei Sakham and Orbonli in Kolt Nek district in Mondulkiri province. Pek Chamani confirmed that these 10 water wells were gifts from Hun Neng and Dai Pok, the parents of Prime Minister Hun Sen. Another donation of 7 wells was also made by Bun Sengli and Ling Krai, the parents of First Lady Bundani Hun Sen. According to the deputy head of the TYDA medical team, these wells were donated to the aid residents in their daily life, especially since the dry season is approaching. At each handover site, Pek Chamani delivered messages from the Prime Minister Hun Sen and the First Lady Bundani Hun Sen with concern for the hardships that people face. She advised residents that in order to be able to use these wells for a long time, everyone must take care of this well together for the common benefit of the community. Pek Chamani also handed over 3 more water wells to people in Srei Sakham commune and 10 more to Soksant commune at the request of residents in the district. She said, "We have the opportunity to build on these achievements because the country is peaceful, prosperous and developed, so let the people continue to keep the peace." Residents receiving the water wells expressed their deepest gratitude to their donors, especially Prime Minister and First Lady, who always consider the need of the people across Cambodia. In addition to handing over water wells, Pek Chamani also distributed another gifts from the Prime Minister and First Lady to the people who participated in water well handover ceremonies across all 10 locations. The president of the Waterwell Foundation also led a group of TYDA to provide free health checkups and medical treatment to any residents that have health problems. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
The Minister of National Defense of Cambodia, Deputy Prime Minister Thia Ban, has reaffirmed to the United States that Cambodia does not have a Chinese military presence at the Ream Naval Base in Sihanoukville, as has been alleged by foreigners. The Deputy Prime Minister told the United States to stop worrying about Ream and to focus on other things because the base is just a small location. Speaking at a press conference on the outcomes of the 9th ASEAN and ASEAN Plus Defense Ministers meeting in Siem Reap on Wednesday afternoon, Deputy Prime Minister Thia Ban said, "Please do not worry about the base. Worry about other places because that place is small. It is like a fishing port and does not have to do with anything big." He further added that the presence of foreign military in Cambodia would be unconstitutional and thus not allowed. According to the Deputy Prime Minister, the United States has been made aware of the situation at Ream, and after listening to the explanation of the Cambodian Ministry of National Defense, a mutual understanding has been achieved. He reiterated that the improvement of the Ream Naval Base under Chinese assistance is only to strengthen the capacity of the Cambodian Navy and protect the country's maritime integrity, security, stability, and order so that it can fight against crime along maritime boundaries. He said, "The development of this base is guaranteed to assure that there is no threat to the security of others." In the past, some countries have accused Cambodia of opening its doors to China and allowing Chinese military to establish a base at the Ream port. Prime Minister Hun Sen allowed foreigners to visit Ream Naval Base in 2021 to observe whether there were any foreign troops stationed there. The Prime Minister stated during a press conference on the outcomes of the 40th and 41st ASEAN summits on 13th November 2022 that Cambodia still welcomes any country that wishes to visit the base. He confirmed this matter after the Japanese military made plans to visit the base again in 2023 after having already visited once in March 2022. The Prime Minister said, "We do not only welcome Japan, but whoever wants to come with no hesitation." He further added, "If you want to come, just come. We have no objection. If you want to come and do drills with us in disaster management or counterterrorism, we do not need only one partner to do this, but we are opening our relationship to others." The Royal Government of Cambodia has approved the Ministry of Culture and Fine Arts and the Apsara Authority to hold the Angkor Remembrance Ceremony at the Angkor World Heritage Site on 14th to 16th December every year from this 2022 onwards. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has the details.
This is the second year that Cambodia is celebrating the Angkor Remembrance Ceremony. In 2021, Cambodia celebrated this festival from the 12th to the 16th of December. Starting from this year, the Royal Government have fixed the 14th to the 16th of December as the dates for this celebration to be held annually. The Minister of Culture and Fine Arts and Chairman of the Board of the Apsara Authority, Phung Sakada, affirmed that the Angkor Remembrance Ceremony is held to celebrate the inspection of Angkor on the World Heritage List on the 14th of December 1992, and to also commemorate the ancestors and the kings who built the temples, leaving a wealth in artistic and cultural heritage for further generations. She said the ceremony commemorates the social and economic benefits of Angkor to the Cambodian people in the past, present and the future, and is also intended to inspire national and international visitors to visit Angkor at least once a year and for more that come visit as well. She emphasised that this event will remind people now and in the future to never forget the importance of Angkor and to commit to protect the historic area as a show of gratitude to all Cambodian ancestors and kings, as well as generations of citizens who have sacrificed their wisdom and their spirit for the conservation and development of Angkor. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
After YouTube reinstated monetization for content creators in Cambodia this year, the Ministry of Posts and Telecommunications has encouraged all content creators to participate in the Digital Education Video Contest under the Go Digital Cambodia initiative, which will end on 30th November 2022. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has more details.
YouTube previously suspended monetization for content creators in Cambodia in 2021, and the Ministry of Posts and Telecommunications had been working with the company and tried to find a solution. Through the efforts of the ministry, YouTube officially launched the YouTube Partner Program in Cambodia, once again allowing Cambodian video content producers to earn money and access key features and resources on the platform. The Ministry of Posts and Telecommunications have also partnered with Google and YouTube to organise workshops on becoming professional YouTubers, with expert speakers from Google and YouTube and well-known content producers from abroad sharing their experiences with content creators in Cambodia in order to encourage them to produce more useful video content for viewers, especially to promote the production of creative video content not for prioritized from others. The ministry has stated that it will continue to work with YouTube and online video companies to provide training programs for content producers, as if it has done in the past, in order to strengthen their ability to produce good and innovative content in accordance with their priority principle, and which will also be beneficial to the public, educational content, entertainment, digital technology, business and innovation, and all contribute to the economic and social development of the digital Cambodia. The ministry encouraged all content creators to participate in Go Digital Cambodia's digital education video contest, which has two main thematic categories: One Day in Digital World and Security Futures and Tips in Keeping Your Facebook Account Safe. The first place winner will receive 4 million real, second place will receive 2 million real, and third place will receive 1 million real. The ministry began accepting video contest entries from the 25th of October and will continue to do so until the deadline of 30th of November 2022. For more information about the competition, please visit www.godigital.gov.kh. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
Thank you for watching the Weekly Roundup here on EAC News Channel. For more breaking news and updates, you can check out our website, eacnews.asia, or search EAC News on Telegram, Smart TV, or at your favorite app store. More from the EAC News team on Monday night at 8 p.m. We will see you then.